You know, it really boggles my mind, man. It really boggles my mind why such stories are reported on, such as the one I'm about to read to you. I really don't understand why so many people get worked up by what a WWE employee says about the fans who watch the product, who complain about what they see on TV every single week. Now, they are never going to allow their true feelings to be expressed. They won't come out and say this sucks. They won't come out and say that Monday Night Raw is one of the worst fucking wrestling shows on the planet right now. The quality of the programming is horrendous. They won't come out and say that. They won't come out and say, 3 hours is way too long for a wrestling program. They won't come out and say Roman Reigns needs to be a heel, because they have a contract with World Wrestling Entertainment, and by the laws of that contract, you cannot say anything negative about the people who are employing you and cutting you a paycheck every single week. Can't do that. And none of those people within the company will ever take a chance on that. But then there's the reason of the CM Punks and the Cody Rhodes and the Nevilles, who just willingly just got up and walked away. They just got up and walked away. And they let their true feelings about the product, they were known in an action, or in this case, Cody Rhodes, he's not going to burn a bridge with the WWE because he has family ties with the WWE. But the WWE in the back of their mind is pretty much at a point where they are angry at Cody Rhodes because he went on and achieved success outside the company, and they don't like to see that type of thing. But what I'm talking about here is two things particularly that were reported on this week. One with The Miz, and then one that I came across last night while I was laying on my couch from Jerry the King Lawler. And I'm going to read you what the King said, and then we'll get into what The Miz had stated about Roman Reigns. Jerry the King Lawler is criticizing the people who criticize the product. And for whatever reason, I don't know. But I know the King has a Legends deal with WWE, so he's bound by that contract not to say anything. Jerry the King Lawler has his own podcast, Dinner with the King. Who doesn't have a fucking wrestling podcast nowadays? He says this on his podcast, and I quote, "Everybody does not complain about the current product." Really now? Everybody doesn't complain about the current product. Are we living in the Attitude Era? Are we living in a day and age where there wasn't as much outreach via social media and the internet, Mr. Lawler? What about everybody in every city that you and the crew travel to? What about all those people? 90% of every audience that we see on live television booing Roman Reigns out of the building. Not everybody is complaining and criticizing about the current product. What about the people that are chanting, "Beat the traffic"? What about everybody that just sits on their hands and they don't make any noise in these arenas that you go to that we see on live televisions? They're not the ones complaining about the current product? He goes on to say, it's not the vast majority either. It's a small amount of people and a very select few that probably have nothing better to do than live their life on social media. And that is really sad. Really now. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, King, but isn't WWE's greatest outreach on social media? How are we to express our opinion about the product if it wasn't for social media? And WWE is opening themselves up to such criticisms by being on social media and touting that they have more followers on social media than some major league sports teams and Hollywood actors and all this other bullshit. And they tout how many subscribers they have on YouTube. WWE's main outreach is social media. WWE does all their business on social media. So the fact that he says it's a small amount of people, the WWE universe is social media. And we're not really, the ones who are the small minority anymore. We are the vast majority of the people. There are a lot of people complaining about this product on social media. A lot of people. And the fact that he is so fucking blind to this and is even making this a talking point on his podcast either means he's really stupid or really fucking salty. But those are the people that complain, he says. If you got nothing better to do in your life than spend time sitting down and typing something on your phone and getting on social media to complain about a wrestling show, man, you really do need to get a life. To all those naysayers there, you've got to eat your words because whatever they're doing is definitely working. You can't knock success. So there you go. I don't even know how to attack this anymore. I mean, this is so blinded of a fucking comment. I can't sit here and read such stupidity and even collect a fucking logical thought. I don't understand. And this is what we talked about on Friday. For all the fucking idiots out there, the king is being paid by WWE. You are not. So for all you podcasters out there or whoever is out there on social media, and you bring to the table your side of the argument, well, WWE's making all this money. If you don't like it, don't watch. That doesn't equal success, you fucking clown. It doesn't equal success. I seen an analogy from somebody who tweeted me. He said, JD, the Transformers movies, Michael Bay's production, and his image and vision of Transformers made all this money, right? And outside of the first movie, which was decent, it wasn't even fucking good. Coming from a Transformers fan who lived and breathed the old school of Transformers, what we see nowadays is nothing but fucking Hollywood garbage. But the first one was decent. Everything else that followed that made so much fucking money worldwide, right? Millions upon millions upon millions of dollars. Are those movies good? Of course not. Of course not. And if you don't like the movie, you're going to express your frustration by typing away on social media or typing away on a blog. And if you are in the movie industry and you are a critic and you are one of those people that, everyone hangs on every word to find out if the movie's good or not, and they won't watch it if you don't like it, and they take your recommendation as the fucking gospel, then they have every right to fucking criticize the movie. They have every right to complain about the movie. Just like how everybody in the wrestling business has a right to complain if the product sucks or if the WWE is doing something wrong. I mentioned also on Friday, the first Jurassic Park movie was the best Jurassic Park movie of them all. The Lost World, or whatever the fucking last one was called, it made the most amount of money out of the entire Jurassic Park movie, or of all the series, right? But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's the best one, because WWE is making all this money from NBC, Universal, and Fox Sports. They're doing something right? Or is Fox Sports and NBC Universal that fucking desperate and stupid to have a certain niche on their network and they find that certain niche in WWE? That doesn't mean the product is good. You're not gonna compare $1 billion contract and WWE and say, well, WWE must be a great program because they're making all this money. No. The amount of money you're making does not equal quality. In fact, it's the opposite. The more money they make, the less quality that they have on their program. Now, the other thing is, what are they going to do with that money? Are they going to put that money back into the fucking program? Are they going to use that money to go out and sign Kenny Omega? Because I know if I'm making $1 billion, I'm throwing whatever I can at Kenny Omega to bring him to SmackDown Live. When is SmackDown Live going to Fox 5? 2019? What is it, January, February? When is Kenny Omega's contract up? In January 2019? If you're not throwing this guy $10 million a year, then you're fucking wasting your time. If you're not throwing the Young Bucks $10 million a year, you're wasting your fucking time. The more money they make, the less quality of the program. But that's what these people don't understand, and then they attack me. If you don't like it, don't watch. Are you making money from WWE? Are you on some type of agenda where you're working for WWE and you're touting all the money that they're making? Are they giving you some commission on hyping up their program because they're making all this money? Or are you a fucking idiot? Which one is it? Are you trying to get a job with WWE? I don't understand. What difference does it make to you how much money they're making? You'd rather them make money than be a fan and speak the truth about the current product. I don't know how anybody could watch Monday Night Raw last Monday and say, yeah, this is a good show. This is a quality show. I don't know how King can come on here and say, yeah, WWE's doing something right. Clearly they're not doing anything right because Monday Night Raw bombed. It was fucking horrendous. And if anybody sits here and tells me differently, then you are a fucking cock sucker! Exclamation point. Yeah. Apparently everybody in WWE who criticizes the product is a basement-dwelling virgin. Right? So I guess Jim Ross is a basement-dwelling virgin who drinks Mountain Dew and eats Domino's Pizza 7 days a week, right? I guess Stone Cold Steve Austin doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about, being that he's been one on his podcast repeatedly to say Roman needs to turn heel. They need to turn this kid heel. Roman would have the greatest run of his career as a heel. I guess Steve Austin doesn't know anything, right? Fucking greatest of all time, the biggest moneymaker for WWE, the one guy that people associate with the WWE that they know, who's got the biggest podcast in the industry right now outside Conrad Thompson? Really now? I guess he don't know shit. If guys like that are coming out expressing their frustration with the product, then you know something is wrong. Who knows WWE better than fucking Steve Austin and Jim Ross? Bullshit. Fuck out of here. Criticizing the WWE product. Oh, we can't criticize it now because they're making all this money. They're doing what are they doing right? What are they doing right? They may be doing the business portion of it right, but they're not doing the television product right. They're not doing the fans right. Another thing that I've seen lately. Everybody's touting Roman Reigns' success. You do realize that you're a fucking idiot, right? Oh, he's selling all these t-shirts. Roman Reigns' t-shirts sold out in an hour. I don't give a fuck how many t-shirts he sold. How does that equal success on television? His character is a failure. He's not being portrayed the right way. He may be in a top spot, but that doesn't mean that he's accepted. That doesn't mean that we want to see him. That doesn't mean he's going to get the fucking, the portrayal that WWE wants. He's not a Jeff Hardy. He's not a CM Punk. This guy's a fucking waste. I've never once said that Roman Reigns is not a top star. Never. But they're doing him wrong. And making money on something is not going to equal success. Making money on something is not going to equal better quality. Give me a break. Doesn't matter how much money you make, you will not turn that into quality. It's going to be the opposite way. It's going to be they make more money, the show and everything else surrounding it is going to be worse. Because they're going to get complacent. They're going to be like, look at all the money we got. We can do whatever the fuck we want. We can put on this. Fans are going to watch it anyway. We'll generate some hype with the PR department, and boom. People will be dancing around on strings like the puppets they are. That's their mentality. They don't give a fuck about putting on quality television. The thing is, what are they going to do with that money? You want to make the show better? Take the money you made and put it into the fucking show. Jerry the King Lawler is a fucking corporate shill. He has to say that. He's got WWE management listening to his podcast, making sure that he's within boundaries, because he's a WWE contracted employee. Just like Booker T and his podcast, he's a WWE contracted employee. Just like Sam Roberts and fucking Rosenberg. They're all contracted WWE employees. You listen to those shows, and they're not going to say anything negative about the product. They'll say something negative, but it'll always have a positive spin on it. They'll never outwardly come out and say, this needs to happen. WWE's fucking up. You won't hear none of that shit. Moving on. The Miz, who I enjoy watching on television. I think The Miz has gotten better with age. He's like a bottle of fine wine. And he's coming along quite nicely on SmackDown Live. This is the best I've seen The Miz in many, many years. I hope Miz is Mr. Money in the Bank this year. But The Miz came out and defended Roman Reigns on television. He went on an interview and he defended Roman Reigns' portrayal on television. What do you think he's going to say? You think The Miz is going to come out and say Roman needs to turn heel? You know, Roman himself says, why do I need to turn heel? Aren't I already a heel? Like, I don't understand why you would expect a different answer from these people. You know, Vince McMahon won't turn him heel because he's an ignorant fuck. Triple H has already said that, Roman Reigns is a bipolar athlete. You know, he's just like John Cena. They're going to push him like John Cena. He's going to get cheered and he's going to get booed. And if we turn him heel, the people that boo him will cheer him and the people that cheer him will boo him. It's not going to make a difference. Yes, it will. Yes, it will. Because it'll be a more believable character. He will be playing a role that suits the entire thing that you're trying to portray. I don't understand why this is so fucking foreign to people. The Miz came out and defended Roman Reigns' portrayal on television. He revealed that nobody likes the out-and-out good guys anymore, which Reigns isn't, and claimed that he must be doing something right if the younger audience loves him, along with the fact that he sells the most merchandise despite the negative aura that is surrounding him. The Miz went on and said, and I quote, he's selling the most merch out of anybody. Okay. Wasn't CM Punk selling the most merch as a heel? Correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't that gray shirt that I usually wear on this show, the best in the world shirt with the Punk logo on the back, it says best in the world on it, didn't that come out when he was a heel? Wasn't that the number one shirt in the fucking company above John Cena as a heel? CM Punk didn't come off as a babyface. CM Punk came off as a heel when that shirt came out. But the reason why we loved Punk was because he was a heel and he was fucking damn good at it. And if it got cheers, it was because he was damn good at being a fucking heel. Yet he could be dastardly and a fucking prick when he wanted to with the best of them. Yeah, see, if Roman Reigns did that, at least the portrayal of Roman Reigns would be on par with what they're trying to tell. Whatever they're trying to do right now is the complete opposite. This guy is getting fucking booed for all the wrong reasons, but if they turn him heel, then the boos would actually be warranted. And his attitude can change just slightly to go with what we're hearing on television. Everything would fucking change If you come out and have Roman Reigns portrayed as a heel, I told you this time and time again, everybody else around him would be that much more over. Because I know Roman Reigns has it within him to be the fucking heel that we desperately need on this goddamn fucking show. It would make Rollins better. It would make Strowman better. And my God, if Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns ever cross paths, the amount of fucking epic television that awaits you is going to be fucking off the charts. And don't tell me I'm wrong. Because that one thing has a huge impact on what we see with it and around it. And I don't understand why they won't do it. I quote, people are going to sit there and go, well, he should be here. He shouldn't be doing this. Nobody knows. Nobody has a scientific formula to being the most over superstar in all of the WWE. The hardcore fans will sit there and go, oh, well, you know, they're shoving him down our throats. How dare you do that? Blah, 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 blah. But I guarantee you, there are kids out there that sit and look at him. There are women out there that go, oh my God. They can't do that and say, oh my God, with him being portrayed the right way on television? In a way that won't insult our fucking intelligence? You know, did you expect The Miz to come out and say, well, WWE management is holding Roman Reigns down, but he main evented WrestleMania the last 3 years in a row and was given championships upon championships upon championships to become a Grand Slam winner. Did you expect The Miz to come out and say that? So how the fuck is he being held down by management? If you're The Miz, who's watching this from our eyes, from an outside seat looking in, and you see what we see, are you going to be giving me the same bullshit corporate answer that you're giving me here? Absolutely not. It's pathetic. It's pathetic how, you know, what is even more pathetic is how people ask these fucking questions. Like, why do you waste your breath? What are you going to ask The Miz about Roman Reigns for? Are you fucking kidding me? Seriously. Nobody likes the good old-fashioned Superman, you know? No, we don't. We don't like the good old-fashioned Superman, especially when we know what WWE's trying to do. Nobody wants that anymore. Everyone wants that blend of gray. It's no secret that Roman Reigns appeals to the younger fans who arguably make up for his merchandise sales being so high. Although he's going to go through a sticky patch right now, the WWE has stuck with him so far, and it doesn't seem like they'll ultimately give up on him anytime soon either, especially with his peers coming to his defense. You know, it's absolutely pathetic how people make a big deal about this nonsense. Jerry Lawler criticizing the fans who criticize the product. You know, that is sheer hypocrisy if I've ever seen one. So you mean to tell me if the king goes to a restaurant and doesn't have the quality of service that he heard from this restaurant, that he was recommended to go there because of this service, and he doesn't get the service that, you know, he had thought he was going to get, if they get his order wrong, or if they bring the wrong drink out, or if there's something wrong with his dish, or the dinner was partially cold, you know, and he didn't get what he paid for, is he not going to complain and criticize the restaurant and the chain of restaurants? Is he not going to go on social media and type away about what's wrong with the restaurant, and this happened to me and that happened to me? Can I get a $20 voucher, or can I get a comped meal or something like that? You know, I remember a few years ago, I went to a Red Robin, right? They got a Red Robin here in the Bronx. And I'm like, oh, look at this. I haven't seen a Red Robin since the days I lived in South Jersey. Red Robin was good. I remember having gourmet burgers, quote unquote. I won't call them gourmet necessarily. It's a fucking hamburger. I make a better hamburger at home on the grill. Go to Red Robin here when it opens up. Go there and I get a beer and I order a burger and steak fries. And I walk in and literally I felt like I was being racially profiled. Seriously. I think I was the only white guy in that fucking area of the restaurant. So automatically I felt out of place. Number one. Number two, based on the color of my skin, I felt like I was a last priority for whoever was waiting the area. I seen the 1, 2, 3, 4 waiters that were there attending to everybody else, but I was sitting there and nobody came over and greeted me or asked me if I wanted a drink or gave me a fucking menu. Nothing. So I'm like, okay, now I'm getting pissed off. Then I order. It takes forever for the fucking burger to get out. When I get the burger, the fries are cold, the burgers are cold. It was fucking terrible. Terrible. I didn't even eat half of it. I didn't even tip the motherfucker. I went on social media and I complained to Red Robin's Twitter account that this chain and this particular fucking store or restaurant was absolutely horrendous. You know what they did? They reached out to me DM and they comped my next fucking meal. If you're not happy with something, you take to social media and you complain about the experience that you have. God forbid they do something wrong and we, the fucking fans who pump money into this shit, complain about the product. Shame on you fucking people. Never heard such bullshit in my entire life. Open your fucking eyes. The quality of the product is fucking terrible. I'm here to tell you it's terrible. And don't tell me if you don't like it, don't watch it. Otherwise, you'll have nothing to watch on a daily basis on this channel. If I open one eye to the product about how bad it is, I did my job. I don't care how much money they make. I don't give a fuck how much money they have coming to them. I don't care how many t-shirts he sold. I don't give a fuck about the ratings. I'm here about the quality of the show. And when I watch Monday Night Raw, I feel fucking embarrassed. I'm an embarrassed fucking fan of your show. How many people complained about The Walking Dead when Season 8 came on? Oh, there's no action. How many people complained after Season 7, Episode 1, when Negan bashed two fucking skulls in? Where'd the show go? No episode after Episode 1 in Season 7 even came close to Episode 1. This is boring. I want to see zombies. I want to see blood. I want to see killing. I want to see action. There's all stories. They got Michonne over there fucking having sex with Rick. What the fuck's going on? What's going on? Where's the fucking action? Everybody complained. Everybody complained. Glenn died. Everybody was crying, right? Even when he wasn't dead and they thought he was dead, people complained. You can't kill off Glenn. What the fuck's going on? And then when Negan fucking killed him, then people started to complain again. Oh, how could you do this? How could you do this? Carl died. How could you take Carl away? People are gonna die, motherfucker. People are going to die. Yet people complained anyway. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do when Daryl dies? You're gonna have a fucking funeral? You're gonna have a mock funeral in your fucking living room? What's gonna happen? I can't wait till the fucking day Daryl dies just to see you all fucking bitch and moan on social media. Because that's what we do. Ridiculous. But we don't have the right to complain to AMC, right? We don't have the right to complain to the people who make The Walking Dead. If we didn't complain on social media, World War II Call of Duty would have never been changed. Yet Call of Duty World War II made the most money out of any Call of Duty of all time. I wonder why. If you want something to change, you continue voicing your fucking opinion. I don't understand the logic, man. I don't understand the bullshit. People like Jerry the King Lawler, they're supposed to say that. Do they really feel that? I don't fucking know. We won't know. He could take that to the fucking grave if he wanted to. But you're never gonna find the true feeling of these people's, you know, you're never gonna understand the true meaning of these people's feelings while they're under contract. You can't do it. You can't do it. You see, I could sit here now and say I used to work for Torno on 57th and Madison Avenue in Manhattan several years ago, selling Rolex. My old boss, Kathy Pryor, I could say she's a big, fat, massive cunt. I could say that. I'm not working for them anymore. 6 cats, walks around brushing her teeth 4 times a day. I could sit here and do that. I'm not working for them anymore. They could suck my dick. I don't give a fuck. I can say that now. When I was working with them, I can't say it. God forbid they go on social media and they see me saying what I said here. Done. Fired. But I can say anything I want now. And I can criticize WWE if I wanted to. And if I'm working for WWE, I know I can't say half the shit. I can't say anything that I say here because I'd be working for WWE. But the simple fact that Jerry the King Lawler is coming out criticizing the people who criticize the product, hypocrite. Guarantee he's the first person to complain about something that goes wrong with him. But we can't complain about the product when we feel embarrassed about what we see on Monday night. Works both ways, King. Works both ways. Never criticize the paying audience. We're not the minority anymore. The people who dislike what we're seeing now is the majority of the people. I see more negative about this show than anything. The people who speak positive about the show are the ones who are fucking blinded and can't conceive one logical thought of their own. They're followers. They're sheep. One person says something positive, they gotta jump on the positivity bandwagon. But if something says something negative about the show, then God forbid, crucify him, throw him into the fucking furnace, never to be seen again. Done. You'll never win in this community. This community is full of fucking cancer. Never. That's why I'm trying to make a difference with what I do here. I'm really trying to make a difference with what I do here. I will never sit here and tell you something is good because everybody else is saying something is good. If something is bad, I will always criticize when it's bad. If you want some positivity, why don't you watch me on Wednesday nights when they do things right? On Monday and Tuesday, they barely do anything right. If they do, it's like some fucking idiot coming off the bench on an 0 for 30 streak who comes up and hits a fucking home run to win the game. You got lucky. You got lucky. Smarten up, people. Smarten up. I don't want to sit here and have this bullshit that I have to deal with every day becoming a daily thing. Smarten up. And I won't have to sit here and criticize the fucking product and criticize those who are just blind to the fact. I got a lot of news today, man. I got news on why WWE purposely made that Bobby Lashley Sami Zayn segment bad. The Big Slow signs a new 3-year deal. What's going on with the Big Show? Do we expect him back on television this year? Also, I got news on Cody Rhodes addressing all the CM Punk rumors yesterday on social media. I also got news on the real reason why SmackDown Live is being moved to Friday. If I haven't already talked about that, there's the real reason why it's being moved to Friday night. And apparently there's a huge WWE title match announced for the Japanese WWE tour that is throwing everybody into a wild, fucking chaotic state this morning, man. Also, I have news on the finish for WWE Money in the Bank that could see AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura come to an end, finally. I got news on that. And we'll go over all that today right here on Off the Script. This is episode 223, part number 3 for your Sunday, May 27th, 2018. Stick with me. Let's hit the intro, and I'll be right back with more news and rumors right here on Off the Script. Off this shitty fucking product by coming on here and speaking the fucking goddamn truth about this fucking filth. And I can book a better show taking a fucking dump after eating my fucking Chipotle chorizo with extra cheese. I don't give a fuck what anybody has to say. Have I ever? Of course not.
WWE is great, man. Fuck you, Japan, and Kenny Omega, Okada. Sonny! What is it, man? Can I suck your dick? What is it, man?
And this is the #1 fucking podcast right here on YouTube.com. This is Off the Script. Oh, man. I don't know what's going on, man. I don't know what's going on with YouTube. I don't know what the fuck's going on the last couple of days. I think this weekend has just everybody completely out of their mind, man. You know, I take whatever I do here very seriously. We're not perfect. I'm always thinking about making the show better in whatever way, you know. I do watch other podcasts and I get ideas about what I'd like to do and what I'd like to incorporate into the shows. I don't usually see any other wrestling podcast get the amount of bullshit thrown their way. You know, I don't see people wishing death on other podcasters. I don't see people hoping they fail. I don't see people hoping that they go homeless and don't have a way to support themselves and make a living for themselves. I mean, I don't understand what the fuck's wrong with people. I really don't. I never once wished that upon anybody. I never once wished that on anybody, you know, and we had a falling out, my old partner and I never wished that upon him at all. And I'm sure, you know, he doesn't like me and he would never wish that on me either. But I take what I do here seriously, and when I see people trying to fuck that up intentionally, you know, I will take the proper procedures to have whomever it is or whatever is being done stopped. So with the manipulation of the thumbs down and the thumbs up lately, cut it out. Just stop it. You know, I see it, everybody sees it, stop. It doesn't make sense. You're wasting your time, and I'm sure you're wasting your money on whatever bot that you've paid for. Because there's not 1,000 fucking people thumbing down my video. That's never happened, ever. There's not 4,000 people thumbing up my video either. That's never happened. Come close. I think the most I did was 3 on my own, without a bot. But those are for big pay-per-views, like a WrestleMania or a Royal Rumble. So whatever the fuck's going on, cut it out. Also, I wanna bring to light what I talked about yesterday. I quite like the way that I presented Seth Rollins and my Elias push for Money in the Bank. I would love to see Bobby Roode turn heel and fight Seth Rollins for the Intercontinental Championship. That would be the best of all the scenarios, but I don't see WWE turning Bobby Roode heel in the next 3 weeks. So that's why I didn't bring it to the table yesterday in the discussion. But there were some people on social media who criticized why Elias. Why pick Elias? He hasn't won a match. Well, I don't know. When the fuck did wins and losses matter in WWE? They might matter to us here, but what we see on television, when the fuck has wins and losses mattered? I think it's going to be pretty difficult for you to find someone who has a string of victories that deserves an Intercontinental Championship match. I'm just going based off the fact that the guy has never received an opportunity yet. Anybody you put into that situation, more than likely, is not going to deserve it. You know? And the fact that Elias comes out and most of the time he's just sitting there under a spotlight with his guitar, you know? I don't see him winning the Intercontinental Championship yet. I never said have Elias win the Intercontinental Championship from Seth Rollins now. Have him gain some momentum. Have him get some wins. Have him get a win in a non-title match over Seth Rollins. Clean. And then maybe give him an IC title run. But wins and losses don't matter. So that argument, if you're going to bring that to me, right down the toilet. Don't even want to hear another fucking word out of your mouth. I stick by what I said. Elias is the best option right now. Yes, there's a Jason Jordan, but what has he done to deserve an Intercontinental Championship match? Nothing. Dean Ambrose comes back? Nothing. Chad Gable? Nothing. Who else is on Monday Night Raw that deserves that opportunity? Nobody. I stick by what I said. Whether you do that with Seth Rollins and you do Jeff Hardy versus Daniel Bryan or an Andrade Cien Almas, more than likely Bryan, Or if Brian gets in Money in the Bank, do Jeff Hardy versus Samoa Joe. But that won't make any sense because of what I said about Joe. Put him in Money in the Bank, put Brian with Hardy. It works out. It all works out in some weird way. Not exactly how I do it because WWE books on the fly. And they book with their head in their ass. I think it'll work out for the best. So I just wanted to address those two things to start this show. But I want to thank everybody, the real ones who've come out to support. I can't even tell who's fucking thumbing down and thumbing up the video anymore. But I want to thank everybody for coming out and support. It's been a slow weekend, man. Everybody's either away or grilling and not on YouTube. The views are down. I don't know what the fuck's going on. I don't know if not WWE. WWE is always fucking down. I don't know if YouTube has changed their algorithms. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Everything just seems to be down this weekend, and I'm not sure if you're a YouTube content creator and you're feeling the same thing, but I feel like everything legitimately is just down. You know, there's no momentum for anything. I think people are away. I just want to believe it's the holiday weekend, so hopefully things pick up again next week. But if you missed anything, man, we have a bunch of stuff on the channel that you guys can go check out. If you have not checked out already, we have Off the Script, parts 1 and 2 from Friday and Saturday. They're live on the channel right now. Make sure you guys go and check that out, plus NXT and everything else that you might have missed earlier in the week. Linked right in the annotation that you see in the top right corner. So please go and check that out and show your support for all the content on the channel. As always, barbershopwindow.com/offthescript. Make sure you guys go get your t-shirts. There are 15 designs up there that you could look good in and support the podcast with this summer, man. So go to barbershopwindow.com. I do believe they're having a Memorial Day sale. So if you haven't gotten your t-shirts, this weekend might be a very good time to do so. barbershopwindow.com/offthescript. Harry's.com/script for your free trial. You're going to get a handle, a blade, the foaming shave gel that you guys love because it smells so fantastic, and a protective case for your blade. That's a free trial shave set because Harry's wants you to know that you're going to have the best shave of your life, and they're willing to give you a free trial shave set because once that blade hits your face, it's going to be the best thing that you've ever used as far as shaving products, man. Whatever you got in the medicine cabinet right now, whatever you got lying by your bathroom sink, it's going to go right in the trash. Harry's is going to be your new wingman for all your shaving needs, man. All you have to do is pay the $2 shipping and handling, and you are set to go. That'll be delivered right to your mailbox waiting for you. Harry's.com/script. If you guys have already signed up, tell a friend, tell a family member, tell a colleague at work, tell a classmate. Whatever, man. Get the word of mouth out there. Harrys.com/script. And then audibletrial.com/offthescript. Still sponsoring the podcast. Great way to support the show. Again, you guys can get Audible for 30 days free. That's 1 month free of your service or of their service for your needs. And that's going to include 1 free audio book. So all you have to do is go to audibletrial.com/offthescript. You guys can get the Jim Ross autobiography, Slobberknocker, Justin Roberts, Best Seat in the House, Shawn Michaels, Chris Jericho, AJ Lee, Charlotte Flair, Ric Flair, Bret Hart, Brock Lesnar, Bob Holly, Hulk Hogan, Daniel Bryan. They're all on there, man. Speaking of AJ Lee, there was a story that I read about AJ Lee possibly coming back to the WWE with this new Fox deal. But I don't think WWE would ever get AJ Lee back. I just think she is too well off doing whatever she's doing, and at that point she was mentally checked out. So I don't think AJ Lee's coming back. But if you want to hear her autobiography, Crazy's My Superpower, it could be yours for free. Not only the wrestling stuff, man, but there's 190,000 different choices, whether you guys are into politics, fantasy, crime, romance, drama, science fiction. It's all on there, man. audibletrial.com/offthescript. And once again, if you guys have already signed up, tell a friend, tell a family member, colleague at work, classmate. JD's giving away free audiobooks, man. Great way to support his podcast and his wrestling channel here on YouTube. audibletrial.com/offthescript. Follow me on Twitter, at JDFROMNY206. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for notifications, even though it means jack shit nowadays. And if you guys want to support the podcast, patreon.com/JDFROMNY206. Thank you guys for all that, man. Let's hit the news to round out this weekend. I want to go over first what we got here. The Bobby Lashley, Sami Zayn segment. WWE reportedly purposely made it bad for one specific reason. I know if I'm running a business, I'm doing the very best that I possibly can every single week. So the fact that they wanted to purposely make it bad just goes to show you how WWE gives a shit about their product. They don't. Now, we've seen some terrible fucking moments in this new era of Monday Night Raw. Bayley, This Is Your Life with Alexa Bliss. We've seen the Bobby Lashley, Sami Zayn segment. The old day, trash. All trash. But the one thing which fans witnessed on Monday night may have been the worst of all time. Fans found it so bad that they were debating whether it was worse than Alexa Bliss, This Is Your Life promo on Bayley. As soon as the announcement was made by Sami Zayn, fans knew that bringing out Bobby Lashley's sisters on Monday wasn't going to be as straightforward as he explained. I was hoping somewhere deep in my soul that we would see Sami Zayn bring out Bobby Lashley's sisters, but that did not happen. What we saw were three men dressed as women to get to the ring and seeing Bobby Lashley come out and beat them up because of the fact that they weren't really his sisters. However, it didn't take long for the fans to vent their frustrations on Twitter. King. Yes, because this is... They're doing things right, though. Correct? We can't voice our opinion on garbage like this, right? We took to our frustrations via social media, King. Nobody laughed. If you laughed at that segment, legitimately, your sense of humor is garbage. I didn't laugh. It was pathetic. And if someone that I knew walked into my house watching this with me, I would be embarrassed to call myself a fan of the show. It was that bad. WWE, I don't know what the fuck they were trying to accomplish here. Were they legitimately trying to kill Bobby Lashley's WWE run 2 months in? It would coincide with everything else that they've done with Nakamura and Bobby Roode and everybody else that they brought up from NXT. They're bringing Bobby Lashley. How can we embarrass this guy for leaving for Impact Wrestling for all those years? Yeah, that's right. We'll come up with this segment and have him be Smiley Bobby. Smiley Lashley. Bobby Trashley is what they should be calling him, because his run has been trash. Now, they failed to get Bobby Trashley over, claiming that they took the completely wrong angle. Others poked fun at how bad the segment was and warned Fox. People actually tweeted Fox to pull out their $1 billion deal with the company because of segments like this. But most of the criticism stemmed from the fact that the promo was viewed as transphobic. Yes, because we live in a day and age where, we can't dress men up in drag and have Bobby Lashley beat up the men dressed in drag. There's an issue with that. I didn't find any issue with that. I found an issue that I was an embarrassed wrestling fan. That was the only thing I was concerned about. I don't give a fuck what they were dressed as. If you found an issue with that, then I'm sorry. Maybe you should have other things on your priority list to fucking complain about. If that was the one thing that you found wrong with this promo, my God, you need fucking saving. And I don't even think Christ himself, Christ Almighty can't even save you. If that's the one thing that you're hanging your hat on for this segment. I wonder who was dressed in drag. I want to know who the identities of these men were. And I want to know what they were thinking. I'd love to interview them. Because they're not working for WWE. They were just a part of this mere segment. They were paid a few dollars under the table. There you go out and embarrass yourself. What'd you think? Your WWE debut was dressed as a fucking female being beat up by Bobby Lashley. Terrible. However, speaking on the latest edition of the Wrestling Observer radio show, Brian Alvarez revealed that the WWE may have very well aired this lousy segment, and that's being nice, lousy segment, knowing that it was terrible and wouldn't go down well with the fans. He stated that WWE hoped the segment would get some heat and attention. So there you go. So you're complaining about it being transphobic. Do you expect anything less from WWE? That's their sense of humor. Someone in the back finds that crude bullshit to be humorous. Vince McMahon. So while you hang your hat on the segment being transphobic, I'm hanging my hat on to WWE putting on shitty television. Because when Bobby Lashley made his WWE re-debut on Monday Night Raw, I did not expect it to be dead 2 months later. I did not expect Sami Zayn to be temporarily broken up from Kevin Owens, in which they were the best heel duo on SmackDown Live, and then they come to Monday Night Raw and they start off nicely, and he's put in this situation. I'm going to hang my hat on feeling terrible. I'm heartbroken for Sami Zayn that he had to be a part of that segment, and Sami Zayn's sense of humor could not even save that segment. But you want to hang your hat on the fact that it was transphobic. Awesome. Now, he stated that WWE hoped the segment would get heat and attention, which it did, for all the wrong reasons. Now, according to sources, this is from Meltzer and Alvarez in their show. This is from Alvarez's mouth, and I quote, "I know everyone hated everything with Sami Zayn and Bobby Lashley's alleged sisters. Honest to God, I don't have a lot of feelings about it. Because have you been watching WWE for the last 25 years? This is what they love to do. It's just a bad segment. It was designed to be bad. They knew it was going to be bad. They hoped it would get a little bit of heat. They hope the train wreck television viewership number increases during Raw ratings." Now, it looks like WWE's strategy ended up working exactly how they wanted it to, even if there were fans on social media calling them out after it aired. They do have to be careful, though. The timing of this couldn't be worse when WWE is moving to a new network for Raw and SmackDown Live. When you take into account that fan outcry over the Fabulous Moolah Battle Royal at WrestleMania 34 saw people complain to Snickers King. What about that one, Lawler? Right? If you're not happy with something, right, we should stay quiet. Is that what you want us to do? Otherwise, we would have got the Fabulous Moolah Battle Royal changed. Their advertising partners, Snickers, people went to them directly to tell WWE to rename the contest. Similar adverse reactions from fans can cause something more serious based on controversial segments like this one on Monday Night Raw. I wouldn't have anything to worry about if, Fox and the WWE deal going down. I don't think that's going to have any hindrance on that. But the fact that people want to complain about all these other fucking reasons. The fact that it was terrible television and WWE. What type of business mentality is that? I don't know if I am just a rational human being more so than others. Or if I am just level-headed more so than others. Smarter more so than others. But if I'm a businessman and I'm putting on a Monday Night Raw after news broke that my company just signed a $1 billion deal with Fox Sports, wouldn't the first thing in my mind or your mind be to put your best foot forward from here on out and show these people that the $1 billion is going to be worth every fucking penny? Not even that. Not even if the contract wasn't signed and they didn't have that $1 billion deal. As a businessman, would you open up your business with stale pastry in the case? Would you open up your business with 2-day-old coffee in the coffee pots and people come to start their day with you? You're the first person that they see during your day. It don't even have to be that. If you're going to a job interview, first impressions are everything. You're going to go dressed in fucking sweatpants and a ripped t-shirt that you're sleeping at night? You're going to go into this interview with bad breath and messy bed hair? Or a baseball cap? Or are you going to put your best foot forward? I don't understand that. I really don't understand the logic behind that. If I'm a business and I'm intentionally putting on something that's bad, then you don't really give a fuck about the product, the company, or the fans in that matter. I would never put on something knowing intentionally it's going to bomb and fail. I would always put on the very best that I could in every fucking segment, whether it's funny or whether it's serious. The very best of anything on my show. And WWE showed you that they don't care about anybody but one man's crude sense of humor, and that's Vince McMahon. And it failed. And they continue to do this shit year in and year out. Every single year we see a segment like that. They will never change. I don't expect them to change. And we can see this happening every now and then because this is what they do. They don't care. But you know what? Lawler will be here to criticize WWE when it does happen because this shit, what we seen on Monday, that entire Monday night show outside of the main event and Seth Rollins was trash. Garbage. Nothing on that show should have aired on television. That's how bad that show was. One of the worst Raw shows in the history of that 25-year show. And I don't want to talk about it again. Moving on here, man. Big Show signs a new deal with the WWE. Although WWE currently possesses the most stacked roster it's ever had in its history, it doesn't mean that they're going to let some older big-name stars slip away so easily. I wish that was the case here. There have been so many reports since the beginning of the year suggesting that he was going to retire. I wish he did. But it seems as if WWE isn't ready to let Big Show phase out just yet. They've already done that with Mark Henry, who I much rather see than the Big Show, who was inducted into the Hall of Fame, and now has a backstage role, while Kane will be featured less, thank God, moving forward as he's attempting to become Mayor Glenn Jacobs. However, Big Show could be the final original monster that remains on our television screens, unfortunately, for a while. As he's revealed after discussing matters with both Vince McMahon and Triple H, he signed a new 3-year deal with the company. According to Wrestling Inc., I quote, he says, I spent some time with the big man himself. We talked, Hunter and I talked because we were concerned about my hip. We were concerned about a lot of things, and they put together a nice 3-year deal for me. So I'm there for another 3 years. I could do a lot more work with things that I'm passionate about, Special Olympics and being a global ambassador for the Special Olympics. I get a chance to have a bit more free time now. I'm not in the trenches for 5 days a week like I was 20 years ago for every house show. I was probably on TV too much as a giant when I should have been an attraction. Instead, I was there working all the time. Now, I'm in a bit more of a limited role. We're finding the right creative for me. I don't even think WWE Creative has the right creative for themselves. Never mind the fucking Big Show. There's a lot of pressure. Well, there's not a lot of pressure. Pardon me. There's not a lot of pressure on me to be there every week, he says, and get people over or carry 2 or 3 segments or whatever we're doing. I can kind of show up, help the younger guys here and there, and pursue outside projects that are important to me. All in all, after going through that hell with my hip surgery, and Vince and Triple H gave me a hell of a deal, Steve Austin knows how this business is, and after 20 years in this business, I didn't expect to get the respect they gave me by giving me this deal. It's one of those kinds of things that's humbling because both of them really appreciated the work that gave the company and put me in a position to be where I am today. I mean, in all sincerity, they gave me this deal in January, and I haven't done a damn thing yet. It's clear to everybody, that's an end quote, by the way. It's clear to everybody that the Big Show has done a lot for WWE. I understand that, but he should not be on television now. We're moving into a new day and age. I don't hate Paul White. I don't want to see Paul White on television. Paul White is a thing of the past. The Big Show is a thing of the past. The last big thing that the Big Show should have done was put Braun Strowman over on television, and that's exactly what he did. There's no more use for him. There's no more use for him. The fact that WWE, Vince and Triple H gave him this deal, great. They respected everything that he's done, and the Big Show is a huge PR marketing guy. They can send him out there to do whatever they need to do to get the WWE into the spotlight. Big Show is great at that. Great. And they're paying him because they've respected all the work he's done for them as a big man, and that is appreciated. And it's good to see that he's making the money that he deserves to be making for all the years that he put his body through hell. That I can appreciate. But the fact that Paul White, the Big Show, being on television, we don't need to see that anymore. The last big thing that he did was put Braun Strowman over, and that's it for him. That's it. There's not going to be another Braun Strowman for a very long time. So Big Show's time on television now there's nothing there for him. Absolutely nothing there. You want him to come back for a battle royal at WrestleMania or be in the Royal Rumble, whatever, that's fine. But as far as storylines on television week to week, we don't need to see that anymore. He's in the best shape of his life, and although he might not be in his prime anymore, he will still be able to do some great work in the ring to help younger giants who will effectively replace him permanently one day. Braun Strowman is that guy. So Big Show signs a new deal. Sasha Banks signed a new 3-year deal with the company. I expect more people to make more money, being that the WWE has a lot of money now with this $1 billion deal for 5 years and all the money they're making from the Saudi Arabia deal. So start handing out that cash, WWE. Start handing out that cash to the people who matter. Moving on here, man. CM Punk has been a big talking point this year. CM Punk has been a big talking point this week with the All In announcement and the fact that CM Punk sold out his meet and greet in 59 seconds at the headquarters in Chicago of Pro Wrestling Tees. Now, Cody Rhodes has addressed the speculation of CM Punk making a wrestling return at All In. All In right now is not CM Punk's priority. There's two things that are ahead of All In. One, his UFC fight with Jackson at 225 in June, which is taking place the Saturday. I have to call House of Glory, so I won't be able to watch it, unfortunately, but I'd rather do House of Glory anyway. I'm sure I'll be hearing tweets on it all night. And number two, his lawsuit with WWE and their doctor, Chris Amon. So those are the two things right now that WWE, or CM Punk rather, has to worry about with Amon, WWE, and his UFC fight. So All In right now is really not a priority. We all know All In sold out in 30 minutes, 10,000 tickets without the name of CM Punk on the bill, which is fantastic in itself, and it speaks to how great the marketing and the Bullet Club and the Elite have been. And I don't believe at all, I don't believe for a second at all that WWE does not feel threatened by All In. They might not feel threatened as a business, because who the fuck would be threatened by All In? Nobody. But they are threatened in a way where normally we would have seen roster cuts after WrestleMania. Why don't you think we've seen roster cuts right now after WrestleMania? Because everybody that they would have released, that they have no use for, if they were released after WrestleMania like we normally see, that would put them in line to be able to work before September 1st. And if that's the case, WWE X Talent released after WrestleMania and are able to work before September 1st, where do you think they're going to go? Where do you think they're going to sign the dotted line? Where do you think they're going to show up for their first night of work away from WWE? They're going to show up at All In. So if WWE released a Mike Bennett, or if WWE released a Ty Dillinger, or if WWE released whomever, they didn't have any reason to keep on television or keep on their roster because they weren't being used in a creative way. Where do you think they're going to go? So if WWE is not making roster cuts right now, and they're afraid of their talent being X-talent going to All In, don't you think that WWE knows All In is happening? Don't you think WWE knows All In is a big deal? Don't you think WWE is just a little threatened by All In, and they don't want to enhance All In by releasing talent right now? Maybe they'll wait till after All In so they don't have an opportunity to compete in Chicago? I think so. I think WWE is bullshitting you. I think the reports that you hear about WWE not feeling threatened or nobody internally is talking about All In is bullshit. If you are a wrestling fan, if you are friends with anybody that's doing this All In show, you're talking about All In. The fact that WWE isn't releasing talents, you know, and you're talking about, and you're threatened by All In just a little way. A little way. Because otherwise, if you didn't give a fuck, release who you want, clear up payroll, find money, and put that money towards something better that you could utilize a lot better than the talent that you're not using, and let them go. Let them go. If you're not threatened at all, let the talent go. Now, Rhodes, after talking about how vital Punk has been to his career, Cody revealed that if they announced CM Punk being on the show before tickets went on sale, it would have felt like cheating. whereas this event was to see whether they can draw by themselves. I mentioned yesterday that Punk is going to be at Pro Wrestling Tees headquarters. He sold his meet and greet out in 59 seconds. I don't know how many tickets were available, but they were gone in 59 seconds. Punk is still a massive deal. And All In represents everything that CM Punk is. So for him to not be at the event come Chicago, come September 1st, is ridiculous. I expect him to be there in some way, shape, or form. Now, despite that, he admitted that if Punk wants to be All In, he's more than welcome. Cody said this about CM Punk. I had a really great relationship with Punk. When I came to OVW, he was in the locker room and he was the leader. And he was super cool to me, and he probably shouldn't have been. He had worked for 10 years and was in developmental. He was really nice to me, and you never forget that. We want him to win his fight. If Punk wants to be a part of All In, of course, he is unbelievably welcome. This is his city, and the wrestling world never, ever has given up on CM Punk. That's to speak to the body of work and equity he had with them. Now, although that event might be the last thing on Punk's mind right now, outside of the two things that I just mentioned, this one is going to be a big deal. The ball is in his court. If he wants to show up, he's more than welcome. If he doesn't want to be there. He wants to do what he wants to do. But I suspect CM Punk will be All In on September 1st. And Cody has nothing but good things to say about CM Punk. And I believe him. And the fact that Cody is welcoming Punk with open arms, Punk is still a wanted man by everybody. Whether WWE wants to admit it or not, they would love to have Punk back on television. They did him wrong. They did him dirty. And I think Punk is the only guy right now, outside of the Elite, outside of the Bullet Club, that really could make a huge difference in the perception of what we see on WWE television. SmackDown Live. Now, we talked about this, and I haven't read this report, but this report is coming to you from me, from GiveMeSport.com. Apparently, there's a real reason why SmackDown Live is moving to Fridays instead of staying on Tuesdays. Now, we talked about everything that we possibly could with the SmackDown Live merger with Fox 5, okay? SmackDown, since its debut in 1999, the show has been moved from airing on Thursdays to Friday, returning to Thursday, and then eventually in 2016 moving to Tuesday. It also had a number of different networks calling itself its home. We had SmackDown in the United States on UPN television. Then they moved to the CW network before ending up on Sci-Fi, which is a USA network, and then they ended up on the USA network itself. Since it was aired live for the first time 2 years ago, SmackDown has been better established as more appealing. And WWE fans and wrestlers alike, like SmackDown Live's presentation now more so than it has been in previous years. But we could all see that change once again. There have been huge rumors suggesting that WWE are close. It's pretty much a done deal. I don't know if it's actually done. I don't know if it's signed, sealed, and delivered, but the $1 billion deal is more than done. And that will take SmackDown Live away from the USA Network and air on Fox in 2019. Although the deal will make Vince McMahon a lot of money, it's apparently going to mean that the show will be pre-recorded once again and move to Friday nights, a well-known tough TV spot. It needs to remain live. I don't know how WWE's got to rework it, but it needs to remain live. This might not sound ideal for SmackDown Live, but according to Dave Meltzer, there's a reason why Fox wants to show in that dreaded Friday night spot. The reason is that Fox probably felt like Friday is a tough night for television and Saturday are doing a lot of sports, Meltzer said on the latest edition of Wrestling Observer Radio. They would have to preempt wrestling all the time, and we discussed this already. They would have to preempt wrestling all the time, so Saturdays is out. I think that the idea was to put them on Fox, to put them in that night, on that spot, and it's not a big night. If they put them on Tuesday, they probably wouldn't get bigger numbers than Fox already has on that station. So, we discussed this already. It needs to be on, if it's going to be on Friday, it needs to be live. I don't mind if they move it to Tuesday, from Tuesday to Friday, but it needs to remain live. I don't care what you got to do. I know the house show circuit begins on the weekend. It's going to be difficult for the crew, but I don't think anybody wants to watch a taped episode of SmackDown. The feel is different. The perception is different. The openness to them having it being altered is an issue. We might not get a true representation of what we see compared to what the fans see. I don't want to see it. So SmackDown Live may be moving to Friday. It may be taped, and we may be in for a shitty SmackDown Live run in 2019 if they want to change it completely, like the report states it will be changed. I don't have any other news besides these two last things, man. Lio Rush finally addresses what happened during an ESPN interview about his backstage heat when he called Emma out after being fired from the WWE. Lio Rush, I've seen Lio Rush on the independent circuit. I've called Lio Rush matches for House of Glory. The guy is fucking as talented as they come. You know, I can't wait to see what he could do in NXT. I know he's been working the house show circuit with NXT. He's been all over social media. Looks like he's got this very cocky gimmick going on. But I can't wait to see what he does, man. He's way too talented to be kept held down. Lio Rush was recently interviewed by ESPN during last week's, I guess, set of interviews for WWE. And during this interview, he spoke about the situation, and this is what he had to say about that situation with Emma and him getting backstage heat. It was definitely a difficult situation. I've worked so hard and spent years trying to brand myself and to show the world that Lio Rush is a top prospect in all of professional wrestling. So it was a bit rough to see so many people turn on me for that, but I've owned up to my mistakes. I have said my apologies. What else could I do? You live, you learn, you make mistakes. I know a big thing that I tweeted out shortly after that, a mistake shouldn't be your attacker. It should be your teacher. I've definitely learned from that situation, and I definitely have not let that situation change the pacing of me succeeding in anything. Everybody makes mistakes on social media, man. People say shit that they don't mean, and they tweet and delete all the time. Lio Rush, 22, 23 years old. You know, he's a father. You know, he's going to make mistakes in his young age. He's going to make mistakes here and there. Nobody's going to be perfect. WWE can't expect him to be perfect for the longevity of his career. He will mess up here and there. He'll do something wrong. He'll say something wrong, etc., etc. But his talent is so overwhelming that if WWE gave up on him, that would be a big mistake for that brand. NXT could certainly use a Lio Rush, and Lio Rush and what he brings to the table, man, he is right now in a perfect situation with NXT. Continue working hard, you know, be that guy who's going to showcase what you can do in the ring. Let your body of work speak for itself. Be respectful of everybody in that locker room. You know, come on social media and don't, you know, be what you were during that situation with Emma. You know, if you want to stay in character and live up your character on social media within the world of wrestling and in your realm, fine. But when you're talking about your colleagues in that manner, it's never going to go over in a good way, man. You had people like Bray Wyatt come out, who never says anything on social media, hardly, come out and say, you know, that if Lio Rush was in the ring, you know, they'd really teach him a lesson or some shit like that. You know, you'd have guys who are waiting to pick the bones off Lio Rush. If he was in a WWE ring and people thought he was going to be put in the Royal Rumble as punishment, just to have him beat up on and have him be taught a lesson. Thank God that didn't happen. And thank God WWE, you know, toned it down and they spoke to him behind the scenes. Listen, you can't be doing this. You know, we're going to take you off television for the time being. You're going to pay your dues and work yourself back up to where we think you could be. I think they handled it the right way. I think Lio Rush handled it the right way, and I think he's going to be better off for it. And I can't wait to see what he does in NXT. Finally, guys, Nakamura and AJ Styles. The finish WWE could have planned for AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura at Money in the Bank. Now, we all know WWE is, I don't know what the fuck going on outside. The WWE, they made a last man standing match, and the first thing out of everybody's mouth was, how are they going to ruin this match to get us to another stipulation match? People are thinking that this is going to lead to SummerSlam and it's going to end at SummerSlam. I don't know if WWE has it within them to take this to SummerSlam. But the Wrestling Observer Radio and Brian Alvarez revealed the likely finish to the match between Nakamura and AJ Styles at Money in the Bank. Now, due to the fact that both men have been exchanging low blows to each other in their matches, and that their Money in the Bank match will be a last man standing match, the finish of this match could end via low blow as well. Both men could hit each other with a low blow and go down, similar to the way things ended at Backlash. This time, however, Styles could shoot up to his feet and reveal that he was wearing a protective cup. Something that a lot of people have been talking about as to why he hasn't done that already. But I guess it's never too late, right? Better late than never. Answering the referee's 10 count and winning the match. This would show that Styles has learned from his past mistakes and altercations with Nakamura and has taken extra precautions to ensure he avoids losing to such a dirty tactic that Nakamura has been abusing over the last several weeks. It's been a long road on this rivalry between Styles and Nakamura. Styles won the WWE Championship back in November when he defeated Jinder Mahal on an episode of SmackDown Live. Nakamura won the 2018 Royal Rumble and earned his spot in the main event of WrestleMania to oppose Styles for the WWE title. Styles has been successfully able to defend his title against Nakamura several times thus far, but in a match with no rules at Money in the Bank, Nakamura could possibly leave Chicago with the gold. But it may be too little too late for Nakamura, being that I don't think WWE wants to take the title off Styles right now because there's just so much more for Styles to do instead of giving the title to Nakamura and not doing what they want to do with Styles. And I mentioned this several times, right? Nakamura's boat has passed. If they wanted to have him have a title run, should have been when he fought Mahal at Hell in a Cell. And AJ Styles could have won the Royal Rumble and roles could have been reversed. We could have been in the same position we are in now. At least Nakamura would have had a title run and Styles would have had the title, won at WrestleMania, and he could go on to the rest of the year holding the WWE Championship, going through a Joe and a Bryan and an Almas and having these great WWE Championship matches. It may be too late for Nakamura to win the title now, and I don't suspect him to win the title at Money in the Bank. It should be interesting to see how things shake up between Nakamura and Styles when Money in the Bank is over. I, for one, would love to see AJ Styles win the match via this protective cup that he's wearing, learning from his mistakes, and just moving on from this already. You know, if WWE ends this match in a double 10 count and nobody makes the 10 count, it's going to piss even more people off. We don't need to have another no decision ending. Have Styles wear the protective cup, move on, and have him go up against Samoa Joe leading into SummerSlam with The Miz holding the Money in the Bank, and that is it. I'd say that is it. Protective cup, Styles win at Money in the Bank. I like the sound of that. Good thinking, Mr. Brian Alvarez, and that's something that a lot of people have been talking about. Why it hasn't happened already, we could see it at Money in the Bank. Oh my God, man, what a weekend of podcast we had. I am getting the hell out of here. I am going to hopefully enjoy the rest of my Sunday. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. But regardless, man, thank you guys so much for the love and support this weekend. If you enjoyed the video, hit that thumbs up. If you are on iTunes, Podbean, leave a comment, leave a like, leave a 5-star rating on iTunes, man. Thank you guys so much to my iTunes audience for tuning in every single week and downloading it directly to your device. All you got to do is subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at JDFROMNY206. Hit that subscribe button down below on YouTube. Turn on that bell for notifications. If you guys want to support, patreon.com/JDFROMNY206. barbershopwindow.com/offthescript. harrys.com/script for your free trial shave set. And audibletrial.com/offthescript, man. We got Monday Night Raw on Memorial Day. Rollins and Mahal for the Intercontinental title. Oh my God. They couldn't, right? They shouldn't, right? We'll see, man. But it's a holiday edition of Monday Night Raw, and you know how these shows usually end up. But can it be worse than last week? Only time will tell, man. I'll see you guys after Monday Night Raw. Thank you guys so very much. Hit that thumbs up, as always, and I'll see you right back here for more WWE content to start the new week, starting with Monday Night Raw tomorrow night. I'll talk to you guys later.